You ever tell yourself, I'll start Monday, and then it's Friday, and you're still stuck in the same spot? If you tried different dozens of different plans, training programs, and apps to get you back in shape, but you keep falling off after a week or two, it's not the plan that's the problem. It's the level of commitment. I'm Dr. Ray Peralta, physical therapist, exercise physiologist, run coach, and Marine veteran. Over the last 10 years, I've helped hundreds of people, especially vets, rehab from injuries, reclaim their strength and endurance and confidence without burning out or getting hurt in the process. And there's one thing that separates those who transform their health from those who stay stuck. In this video, I'm going to show you why commitment matters more than the perfect plan, especially if you're a veteran trying to get back in shape in your 30s and 40s. I'll share three key reasons why commitment is more powerful than motivation, what to do when life gets busy or your body doesn't feel the same, a story from my work as a physical therapist that may sound too familiar, and how you can apply this right now, even if you're starting from zero. So, commitment is the fuel that drives long term change. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up consistently, even when circumstances aren't ideal. It's the one quality I see over and over again in the people who actually succeed, not just temporarily, but for life. So, let's talk about why commitment beats motivation, fancy apps, or perfect planning every time. So, before we dive in, though, if you're a veteran, 30 plus, and you want to get help getting back in shape without pain and without guessing, I put together a free training just for you. You can find the link in the description. So, three reasons commitment matters more than the perfect training plan. So, reason number one, commitment fuels motivation and perseverance. See, training plans will never go perfectly. You'll have off days, life will throw curveballs, you may miss a session, but if you're committed, you'll get back up. See, the people who are not committed will just give up and just like, screw it, I'm not going to follow through with this plan. But it's not about motivation. That's fleeting. It's about discipline. When you're committed, you keep showing up, especially on the days when motivation disappears, even when you don't feel like it. Maybe you had you have a tough day at work. You still get your workout done. Those who succeed don't feel like working out every day either. See, they're decided in advance that it's non-negotiable. They're just going to get it done regardless. It's a must-do, not a one day nice to do, right? So, for example, myself, I'll make sure, hey, first in the morning, I'm gonna do some type of workout. It's not always gonna be super long. It might be very short, but I'll get some type of movement in, and it gets done regardless of how I'm feeling. Even if it's like a 10-minute mobility routine or a quick, set of push-ups or squats. Reason number two, commitment kills procrastination. See, a plan on paper doesn't mean anything if it lives in your phone, your Google Drive. It never gets done. See, commitment turns someday into today. It creates urgency. And when you're committed, whether it's a daily walk, a weekly workout, or meal prep, you follow through, even when it's inconvenient, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it, right? So a lot of times people fall off training plans because they're procrastinating. They're not really committing to the process. Reason number three, commitment builds psychological flexibility. See, life doesn't operate in black and white. There's always some gray area in there. You won't always feel 100%. You'll have days when you're stressed, sore, or short on time. You may have like an achy shoulder. See, and that's where commitment shines. See, a lot of people will get fearful and avoid everything altogether. Oh no, I have a deadline, a work deadline. I'm gonna drop off my workouts altogether. Or my shoulder's a bit achy. I'm gonna avoid working out altogether. When instead you could always work around an injury, work around the busy schedule deadline, right? You could just sneak in you're going to have a meal time. Oftentimes people are going to have lunch, you can have dinner, or, instead of having a whole hour for lunch, maybe just have 30 minutes for lunch and then 20, 30 minutes, go for a walk or do some push-ups on the walk. See, that's where my commitment shines. From a clinical standpoint, commitment aligns with something called psychological flexibility, a key concept in acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT. It's ability to accept your current experience without judgment and still take action towards your goals, right? You find ways to work around these challenges or the obstacles, whether it's lack of time, equipment, etc. And that's where real change happens. See, my work as a physical therapist in the clinic, I've seen all sorts of different scenarios. I've had clients who crush it with rehab and others who stalled, even though they're following they should be following the exact same plan, right? They may have had identical, like a knee surgery or maybe identical back pain. The difference, commitment. So some made exercise part of their daily life, right? 10 minutes here to do their mobility workouts, a walk there, some strength training, even if they're just doing it in their living room or their bedroom. Others said, I don't have the time, or I'll start next week, or I don't have a gym. I can't get this done. I don't like to exercise at home. Even when I gave them body weight routines, right? You could do planks and push-ups and like chair squats at home. I gave them even a resistance band, elastic bands, even exercises that take just 5 minutes of their day. So those people who don't have the time, yet those people will still make excuses. They still didn't commit, unfortunately. And here's the truth: those who commit make progress, regardless of their circumstances. They make it done. They get it done. Period. See, and if you're like thinking about, okay, Ray, having a gym is nice, but I don't have a gym, right? I'm not going to go invest in a gym right now. You could have time, you could get good workout with just running outside, or if you want to work out indoors, you don't really need fancy equipment. You could just need a floor space, right? Literally, you just need a floor space. And if you want to get some equipment, put a yoga mat down there or an exercise mat. Start with body weight basics, right? Squats, push-ups. If push-ups are too hard, you can do wall push-ups. Or squats are too hard, you can do what's called chair squats or sit-to-stands, calf raises. If you want to add some equipment, get a pull-up bar, attach it to a door frame, or mount it on the wall. Do your pull-ups, chin-ups. Relatively cheap and expensive. You could throw in some gymnastic rings to attach to that pull-up bar, or gymnastic rings that are, attached to like a door over a door frame. And then with the rings, you could do dips, push-ups, and different gymnastic ring holds for your core. And then if you want to upgrade and get some additional equipment, you could get kettlebells, dumbbells. If you have like a garage, you obviously could buy a squat rack and put a barbell on a squat rack if your budget allows, right? And then if you want for cardio equipment, you could get a bicycle. There's actually very inexpensive bike options you could get for like an indoor stationary bike, like $50 if you want to get and if you want a more nicer bike, you get like an Assault bike, an Airdyne bike that has like a built-in fan, has different resistance levels. You can get like a foldable rower machine, like the Concept Rower. There's different brands now, but you could go indoor rower machine for doing cardio rows or bike, or even a treadmill if you want to get a treadmill, so you could do running indoors as well. So you could do all this from home. And if you don't need to buy any of the equipment I just mentioned, you could obviously get in shape doing push-ups, squats, sit-ups, walking or running outside. Again, you could do this with minimal equipment. Another piece, a jump rope I like as well. You could do jump rope to do jumping type exercises with the jump rope. But it's really not about the equipment. It's about the commitment, because where there's a will, there's a way. You could find a way to get in shape. You don't have to use these excuses that you don't have the time or the equipment to do so, or like a gym. So the mindset shift you have to make. No more, I'll start tomorrow. No more, oh, just this one time, I'll just, have these sweets, because then it just piles up. Like you'll have Tuesday donuts, Wednesday pizza, Thursday cheeseburgers, right? You start making excuses for like junk food, start making excuses for not working out, blaming your work, your kids, your relationship, your past. But you don't need to feel motivated. You just need to decide. Make the decision, make the commitment, and it will change everything. So, what strong commitment sounds like? Say, I'll show up even when it's hard. I promise to give my best, even if it's imperfect. I intend to become stronger for myself and my family. I'm ready to take action. See, these aren't just words, they're declarations of identity. Once you make the shift from I'll try to I will, your results will change. If you're serious about getting pain-free and back in shape, especially if you're a vet in your 30s or 40s, stop guessing and start with some additional guidance. Check out my free training below, where I break down how to train smart and stay injury-free as you rebuild your body and discipline. And get committed. So link in the description.